You can see an IDF pillbox, okay? And in front of the IDF pillbox, Hamas post, okay? So actually they can see us, we can see them. There is now Hamas terrorists on that post, okay?
In that post right over there.
Right there in the white post, yeah. This is something that they are actually building as part of their new strategy. At the beginning, there were always posts in front of every IDF post, but recently, okay, the last year, they became more, if I can say, with more self-confidence, maybe because of our weakness, maybe because of our strength, maybe because of our policy, okay, we will talk about it. But we bombed this post, I think, 3 times, 4 times. And it took them hours, okay, after we bombed it, to build it again. It's like to stick a finger into our eye, it's like we are here. We will talk about we are here. There is a message, okay? There is a message, there is a strategy behind it, and we will be talking about it. Let's go and stand there.
They
You can also wave them, they will wave you back.
almost make it look like a UN.
And it's white, yes. Somebody mentioned white.
Make it look like a UN.
It's
post.
white. No, it's white, not UN, it's
Right.
white. There is,
Is that white also?
it's white, yes.
Yeah. It looks like a UN. If I
And
didn't know, if you didn't
and
tell me.
if you already mentioned that, we have a pillbox. It's protected. By the way, no soldiers there, and they have a post, and it's open. We are not afraid.
And what is that tower there?
I'm about to stop.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So we are actually on the border between the state of Israel and the state of Hamas. Hamastan. There's no other name. Okay. In June 2007, Hamas led a coup in Gaza and they conquered the Gaza Strip from the unity government. Okay? In 2006, there were elections. Who won the elections? Hamas. They've established a unity government, Hamas and Fatah, Mahmoud Abbas. So actually there was a Palestinian Authority government with Fatah ministers and Hamas ministers. We as the state of Israel could not coordinate with them. It's like, how can you coordinate security coordination that Hamas ministers will be responsible to arrest Hamas terrorists? It's impossible. So we stopped all coordination with the PA. Okay? And we are not talking to you, you're not talking to us, except, guys, we are Jews when it comes to money. Okay? So when we need to pay, when they need to pay, we will talk to who we need to talk to, okay? Is that the way? And I'm going to jump to another subject. Can money buy ideology? Can that be a solution? For example, $30 million from Qatar entering to Gaza every month through Israel, okay? It's not through, there are some people that I'm giving those tools to them and I'm telling them, how do you think money entered to Gaza? And they say through satellites, I don't know, it's like money fly. Dollars don't have wings, not yet, okay? Maybe that's with the new item. So the wall is actually the border. The wall is the green line. It's a green line. This is exactly where Israel and Egypt in 1949 marked the green line, okay, between Egypt and the state of Israel. We are at Natiba Asara, the path of the 10, the closest moshav to the border. It's really close. And as you can see, an evolution of a threat and an evolution of a response. So it started with an antenna there, the tower, that we had to protect. And then we built another tower, we had to protect it also. And then people from Gaza started to shoot at the houses of Natiba Asara. So the idea had to build walls. Okay, and then it was not enough from here, we needed to add more walls from this side. But it was helpful only for the people who shot, from ground, let's say AK-47, okay, Kalashnikovs, and then RPGs, and then cornets, and then it was not enough, it was really too close, because if you go a little bit to one of the hills in Bet Lahia, you can see the houses of the Natiba Asara. So a new wall was built on the northern border of the Gaza Strip. So this is the northern border of the Gaza Strip, 6 kilometers from the Mediterranean, and it goes down. We're going to have another observation from the other side. I'm going to show you exactly where. And this is where the border that goes west, east, breaks like a knee, and it goes down to the border between Gaza, Israel, and Egypt. And you are going to be there in Kerem Shalom. Okay? with two crossings. One is a pedestrian crossing right down here, okay? And another one that you're going to visit today in Kerem Shalom. How many Palestinians are entering to Israel on a daily basis from the pedestrian crossing? What do you know? What did you hear?
15,000?
15,000? How come 15,000?
I don't know.
Isn't there a
that's
siege
number I
on
heard.
Gaza?
What's that?
A blockade on Gaza?
No, that's a lie.
That's a lie. Oh my God, no way.
No,
Okay, so
come
how
to
many
work.
Palestinians enter to Israel every day from Gaza, from a terror entity that you need to go through a crossing to make sure that he got a permit, to profile him, to make sure that he's not Hamas, that he's not Page, that the money that he will get will not be given to Hamas. You need to make sure all of that inside Gaza. It means you need to be a master of intelligence and to know things inside when the ones who control that area are Hamas, a terror organization, qualified, with excellent abilities, with one of the best strategic departments I ever met. Not directly. Not directly, but we negotiated with them. Guys, a question to you. Did you hear me right? We are negotiating with the other side, with terrorists. Can you do that back home?
Sure.
They are the terrorists.
Sometimes you
at
have a
home.
choice, right?
It's a little different, but yeah, kind of are.
Democrats over there.
Okay. From what you, just a minute, so how many workers, how many people?
Someone said about 15,000.
17,000. Okay, and it's going to grow to 20. I think it's 18,000. Okay, who smokes? Who bought the cigarettes? Where is she?
Oh, this week.
How much did he pay?
It was about $8 American dollars.
$8 will be 35 shekels? No. $8? What did you buy?
32. About
Ellen?
30 shekels.
I don't know what I bought. It was just a box of cigarettes.
I smoked for many, many years. I quit it for the last 3 years, but I used to pay 34, 35 shekels. Okay? It's $10. A little bit. $10.
It was $8 in American dollars.
Okay. In New York, I paid 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in Canada, they paid 22.
No.
Negotiating with terrorists.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, one of the ways to negotiate with the other side is sometimes to smoke.
Yeah.
So I was raised on coffee and cigarettes. Okay, it's a culture. Okay. You want to know how we start a negotiation?
Coffee and cigarettes.
Cigarette.
It was in 2012. I flew to Egypt with some guys, with some. Excuse me. No, but I flew to Egypt with my commanders, and I was really lucky to lead one of the 5 negotiation teams. And when we sat inside the room, I told to the Egyptian officer, no, with the white gloves, they are very, very polite. Like, guys, I cannot sit here and start the negotiation with you for the other side. I know that they have their demands when, and this is what I said, and the bastards are trying to kill my parents who live in Ashkelon. They are trying to kill them. They launch rockets into Ashkelon. It's only 10 kilometers from here. So how do you,
this town?
this is the Tiva Asara. I'm going to show you Ashkelon from different side. Okay, this is where my parents used to live. It's like, you expect me to negotiate with you for them that we will give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and while they are trying to kill my parents. No way. Please step outside, tell them, as long as rockets continue launching, trying to kill my parents, I'm not gonna move. Okay? I was really, really demanding, right? I was the man. Before he was about to open the door, I said, wait a minute. Please, do tell them that if they wanna continue launching rockets and mortar shells to Sderot, there's Sderot right there, be my guest. As much as possible. Even more. They said, why? Are you stupid? Are you crazy? I said, no, my mother-in-law lives there.
My mother-in-law is there.
This is exactly what happened. We started to laugh. He liked it, I liked it, we broke the ice, and this is when you start a negotiation. I once brought a group to my mother-in-law, Mr. Rock, back home, and I also, I told this joke, and she also started to laugh. You know why? She doesn't know a word in English. It's 2 things that really happened to me, so I have always to share it.
That's good.
So this is the northern part of the Gaza Strip. What we can see is the wall. I don't know what about you guys, but what I can see is a wall, actually 2 walls and 2 fences. Can you see them?
Yes.
You cannot.
2 fences.
I said 2 walls and 2 fences, right?
2 fences.
I said there, not here. There, I see two
Sir.
walls.
And a wall.
I have extra
Sir.
eyes, okay? I see two walls and two fences. Why?
Sir.
I see a tower on the other side.
This is Hamas. This is IDF. Where is the second wall?
The other side.
Right there.
What did you say with your hand? Underground.
Oh,
30 to 70 meters down.
really?
1 meter wide. Guys, behind you, this is 9 meters. Just to get an impression of what is the meaning of 30 to 40 meters, 70 meters down. It depends on
The water level.
the underground water depth.
Sinkholes.
Okay. Now, how do I know that? Who sold the cement to the contractors? Now, we know that it reaches to 70 meters because some of the contractors suddenly increased the demand of cement because they started to pour concrete and it started to
Sink, yeah.
sink. Okay, inside, deeper and deeper and deeper. How do you hold such a border? So we have a wall with detectors on it, with technology, another fence that is built on an underground wall to do what? To make sure that the other side will not be able to use an attack tunnel that is from Gaza into Netiv HaSara, the type of attack. The longest tunnel that we found, it was between Gaza and Egypt, it's the Egyptians who found it, was 4.5 kilometers. The deepest tunnel that we found was 40 meters down. How do you get down? How do you get down to the tunnel? Stairs, 40 meters. The IDF drones will see you. How do you get down? If it's stairs, it must be like that, okay, within the angle. You cannot build stairs like that. It's 40 meters down. This is only 9 guys. What do you use?
Cement.
Rope, but you are equipped with a vest, with AK-47, with an RPG, with magazines. You are heavy. With rope,
Slide.
You need to bring up.
Cement.
an elevator. Just a minute. Isn't that the same thing that they need to their high-school buildings?
Yeah.
So if we know that they use elevators to reach down underground to the tunnels, how can we allow them to import or to buy elevators from Israel into Gaza?
Yeah.
Or we can. We can't. Or we can. It depends on the policy. It depends on the policy. You know, it's a border. This is not, yes it is, a closed border that nobody can go through. There is a policy behind, okay? So when you need to build a border and you need to maintain the border, one of the tools is also a policy, okay, that guards the border. Will it be with soldiers? No, it's only pillboxes, sea-shoot posts like this one here. There are no soldiers in it. And you can see technologies around us, okay? One tower, second tower, third tower, cameras up there. And if you look closely to the border between Israel and Gaza, you'll see many, many, many towers, okay? And we hear the drones. Just listen closely, you hear the drones 24/7. The balloons are up here. They're asleep, okay? It's tons of technologies connected, okay, to each other. Who deals with computers, programming? I think it's simple to program a program, okay? For example, that this post will start talking. It's simple, okay? It's a little bit more challenging to combine between the technology that you program for this post and to that tower and to that car, okay, and to the post there that will talk to each other in one language. I think it's way more challenging. Not Arabic and Israeli, it's only, let's say English or Hebrew, but it's combination between satellites, detectors, okay, cameras, aircrafts, tanks, okay, soldiers on the ground. You need to combine all the technologies. This is Iron Dome, by the way. The ability of Iron Dome is to mark exactly from where a rocket was launched, what is going to be the speed, what is going to be the height, okay, where is it going to fall, and to intercept it in the air, yes or no. That's smart. And I'm talking about millions on millions on millions of dollars that the state of Israel, and not only the state of Israel, it's also your government's support, invests in building technologies and weapons to do one thing: save lives. That's the whole purpose. Because one tunnel from Gaza that will be operational, and Hamas or PIJ platoon or a company that will be able to enter to Sderot or to the Nativ of or to Nativ Asara, that will be a huge, huge victory. So even if the casualties will be zero, but the victory, okay, the meaning of I'm inside with a flag means a lot. This is one of the ways to build a narrative. So how do you guard the border? You need a policy. Okay guys, what is the policy that you're using? So we are closing the border and we need to adjust ourselves to the growing threat by walls, fences, towers, technology, intelligence. And we need to be precise when we hit targets inside, on the other side. By the way, you can see the difference between Operation Protective Edge 2014 with the amount of casualties and the Guardian of the Walls in May 2021, okay? We used almost the same amount of ammunition, the same amount of bombs, but we minimized the collateral damage in May 2021 almost to zero comparing to 2014. This is the new age of wars in, I don't know if it's in the Middle East, but at least here in Israel. It's not only finding, tracking the enemy and destroying the enemy, it's also making sure that you minimize almost to zero the collateral damage, the casualties, and this is the challenge. It's a huge challenge. So every target in Israel is getting the authorization of, there is a process to authorize a target. It's not just a pilot that thinks that he can open fire. It's more than that. And it's a 24/7 system that collects intelligence. So we use the borders, we use the technologies on the border, we use the height advantages, we use power plants, for example, and the chimneys to collect intelligence, to collect information. Because the border as a border cannot stand alone as a border. There is a whole system that surrounds it. Even soft tools. And soft tools will be our next part, okay? Who supplies electricity to Gaza? Who supplies water to Gaza? A question, can I ask somebody a question? Can I ask you a question? Sahal? Israel Army? You, yes. Do you know how to build a rocket? Yes, you do. Again, do you know how to build a rocket? Yes, you do. Can you ask a doctor? Last week I asked somebody, can I ask a doctor? I said, yes. What is his name? He said, Bob. I said, no, not Bob. What would be his name? Dr. Google.
Dr. Google.
Simple. Can Dr. Google answer and give you and tell you how to build a rocket? Step outside, find a pole, cut it, open it, melt it, add a tail. If you want to build a rocket, an engine, a washing machine, the panel is excellent for that. It can be quite useful. Oh, you need explosives. Oh my God, no TNT in Gaza. No TNT, no C4. What will you use?
Diesel
Fertilizer.
Yeah.
Diesel fuel.
Urea. Just a minute. Isn't that the same thing that they need to grow vegetables in Gaza? But we saw 3 tanks flying in the air on the border when they used the urea as the explosives. So they need the urea, but we stop it. They need the elevators, but we stop it. They need the pipes for the rocket, and we stop it. But they should get it or not? Should we give it to them?
No.
But people in Gaza, okay, you know what? No. Let's say, okay, no. Let's stay with the no. Okay. How old are you? You are young. That's why I'm using you. How old are you? Excuse me? 18. I hope you have parents. You have a grandma and a grandpa. Let's imagine that your grandma, are they here? How old are they?
My grandma? 65?
She's young. I'm younger. I'm a grandpa and I'm younger. Do you love them? Okay. Would you like them to go to the supermarket and buy something very heavy, and then when they get to their house, you know, it's a high-stall building. Where do you live? Where do you live?
Virginia.
In a Let's say that they live in the 30th floor, okay? Would you want your grandma to take all that heavy weight and climb up? Because there's no elevator there? Why not? It's heavy for her, and it's your grandma, and you love her. They love also their grandmas,
And they should teach their grandchildren not to kill.
okay? But, let's look at the microcosmos. They love their grandmas. They don't want their grandmas to not to be able to use an elevator. Yes, I accept that. I understand it, okay? But there's also a reality. Eventually, she's old, and it's heavy, and it will be, I think, when it's your grandma, okay? You don't care who is doing what. You would want your grandma to be able to buy things and to climb up as easy as can, or you will do it for her, okay? And they also have their grandmas. Guys, what I'm saying here, it's like, let's look at it. I'm not justifying here, okay? I'm not here to justify things. I'm just trying to show it from different angles, okay? That's all. That's the only purpose of what I'm trying to do, okay? But there are few ways to look at this reality. Okay, so there are few bastards who are using some elevators to get underground into a tech tunnel. So what? Why the hell 2 million grandmas or 1 million grandmas suffer because of our policy that we don't allow them to import elevators into Gaza?
Because they want to kill Jews. And
And
that's the whole point.
Christians.
Just a minute,
And that's
just a
the whole
minute,
point.
just a minute. Another angle. All of them?
Yeah, they voted the ones in the power. They voted Hamas in power.
No,
Who has the
no. They voted Hamas, and Hamas won, not the PA. They won some seats in the parliament. They established a unity government, okay? And they did not choose Hamas as their leaders. Hamas can't cut Gaza by force, okay? I have some friends in Gaza. I once brought one of them to one of the buses from Harvard,
Right.
and they started to ask him some annoying questions. You can understand. He's from Boston, you know. They think sometimes differently, and he got really annoyed and disturbed. And he took the mic and he said something like that: "Guys, you don't understand. My name is Nabil. I'm a businessman. I live in Gaza under Hamas occupation." Some of the people feel like that. Okay? It has nothing to do to the fact that the Gaza Strip surrounded with 2 fences and an underground wall, in some places with also walls on the ground, with the natural border, the Mediterranean, okay, that I'm going to show it to you at our next stop. With the border between Gaza and Egypt. By the way, how many soldiers, Israeli soldiers, guard the border between Gaza and Egypt? None, 0. And this is what people get to forget. Is it only our responsibility on the reality that that is actually in Gaza? Is it only our responsibility because we are on the borders? And what about Egypt? What is their responsibility? Is there any responsibility at all? How many refugees live in Gaza? 1.2 million. Now this is in the eyes of the beholder, because I can be also considered as a refugee. I was born in the USSR. We left everything there. We escaped from Russia, from the USSR, okay, from Brezhnev. We came to Israel almost nude with nothing. Okay, I suffered from anti-Semitism in Russia, in the USSR. I was almost killed twice as a kid. So can I also be a refugee?
Sure.
Can I also enjoy once in 3 months blankets, flour, sardines, tuna, free healthcare, what else? Free education. I pay a lot of money for my kids, okay, for their education. By the way, who's paying for all those services to the people in Gaza? To the 1.2? Who said Israel? No.
America.
The UN. Technically UN.
United Nations.
Guys, surprise. You do.
Yeah.
Okay? You do. You, not me. You.
Right.
Your taxes, not ours. Yes.
There's been a historic military doctrine that collateral damage is the responsibility of the enemy. We bombed 2 Japanese cities and ended a war and killed a lot of supposedly innocent people. Where, and you've been a negotiator, where have you not accepted the doctrine of collateral damage being the responsibility of Hamas?
It's our responsibility always. Okay? It will be always our responsibility. They succeeded amazingly. Okay?
Being the victim.
It's not to be the victim, it's simple. Okay? It's to be the victim when they are actually the ones who are using their abilities to target innocent civilians in Israel.
Right.
It means now, in the next following years, it will be illegitimate,
Delegitimate.
thank you,
Illegitimate. Either.
to bomb Gaza or to bomb a launcher. Why? Because we invested so much money in technology that can intercept it in the air that we have no reason to bomb the launchers. So, and this is something that we all should remember. We are an empire in the Middle East. We are considered at least an empire. Maybe we are not, but we are considered like that. And it's okay. We are one of 8 countries or 9 that launched satellite to space. We are leading when it comes to agriculture all over the world. We are leading when it comes to cyber and computers. We are leading when it comes to water, when it comes to sewage, when it comes to health services, when it comes to innovation. And we have the strongest military, excuse me? Water. I said water. I'm gonna talk about it in a different place. And we have the strongest military in the Middle East. Okay? It is. You will have to trust me in this issue. I know something about it. Okay? So we are considered as an empire. So it doesn't matter what an empire does. Okay? If they will know how to use it, they will always be the victims. And this is their strength. Actually, our advantage, our added value, our strength adds or every day builds their legitimacy. And this is when we need to stop thinking in Ashkenazi, okay, and to start thinking in Arabic.
Strong horse, weak horse. That's what I'm saying.
It's more than that. Okay, it's not only strong horse, weak horse, it's a little bit more than that. Sometimes we have a problem because sometimes we are so arrogant that we think that they are stupid, and they are not. And this is sometimes when I need to enlighten somebody's or some people's, let's say, understanding that the other side behind the wall, yes, we don't see them. They are behind the walls, but they are not dumb. They are really, really smart.
Opportunist.
More than that. I'm, unfortunately, only one of those people who says that it was all planned. Yes, they used as opportunists some events, but it's all planned. They build a narrative. They know exactly what they want to achieve. They know exactly where they want to get. And they even enjoy from the benefit of having a border with us. It's Hamas there. We allow them to be on the border. Actually, we give them legitimacy to state it's ours. We are here to stay. We are here to defend. We are here to protest. We are responsible. It means at the interior fight between Hamas and Fatah, who actually got recognition from the entire world, by the way. Not only from Israel, but from everybody. Hamas.
That whole ideology over there was all Nazism. You still have the same policy?
If the reality will be as it is, that we as the state of Israel have no legitimacy, like Putin, for example, that can do whatever he wants to do, yes, it will be like this. Do we have any other? The problem is not them or us. The problem is the international community and how they look at
That
us.
is right.
Okay?
Right.
That's our
So
problem.
they're legitimizing the whatever
This
ideology.
is why we invest so much manpower, money, technologies, investment, okay? To do what? To be able to fight the worst enemies, by the way. This is why when people sometimes ask me, why do you think about the Abraham Accord? Okay? I said, nice to have. No, it's nice to have. But the problem is here. Not there, not 5 hours from here. This is the problem. It's going to explode in our face. And not Abu Dhabi or Dubai. It's nice to have. Israelis love to fly. So we fly down, enjoy the swimming pools. It's okay. It's nice to have. This is where the problem is. This is where we need to deal. This is what we need to do, and this is the border. And I have to be honest. It's simpler to solve the problems here than in the West Bank. As terrible as it sounds.
Really?
Yes, it's simpler. By the way, maybe we are already in the middle of the process of solving the problems. Because it's a isolated area.
Right.
You know what? Let's build a new state solution. Let's build the three-state solution. Who said that we need only to have a two-state solution? Nobody likes a two-state solution. But there is something worse than two-state solution. There is something worse than three-state solution. And it is a one-state solution. Okay? And this is something that I will protest. That I would say never. Me. Okay? Why? Personally, I'm a Jew. I was born in the USSR. I suffered from anti-Semitism. My parents are Holocaust survivors. I lost 87% of my family in Auschwitz. Okay? I came to Israel to live here, to grow here, to raise a family, to defend this country. I have 3 kids. 2 of them served in at the IDF. My 2 daughters. My son now serves also in Matkal. So, and we are all ready to sacrifice our life to this, for this country. Okay? Until today. But not a one-state solution. I want to live in a Jewish Western democracy. If you want to join me, be my guest. But I don't want you to be part of me. So, again, this is me, personally. I'm not saying good, bad, wrong, right, okay? About the 2, about the 3, about nothing, I don't care. But I want to make sure that the solution of a one-state solution will not be implemented. And unfortunately, this is what some Palestinians started to lead as a new strategy. And they say something very simple. We tried to make peace with you, we failed. We tried to kill you, we failed. Let's go back to 48, 45, British mandate, Palestine. All of us together. I don't know. It sounds not so comfortable for me. So let's just have an end here. What we see is the northern border. We can see the smoke. Nobody asked me what is that smoke. Excuse me?
Trash.
Is that
Landfill.
the mud?
Landfill. Trash.
It's garbage, trash. But what is the idea? It's like, how come there's trash here? It's in our face. Just imagine if the smoke, okay, if they will start burning it, and there will be some chemicals there, it will actually pollute this village here. Can the border just stop it? Can the fence stop it? So let's build a higher wall. Can it stop it? And what about mosquitoes? What about diseases? Is there a border between Gaza and Egypt? So they import goods from Africa? Can they import, I don't know, Ebola?
Yes. Yes.
So now do you understand why it's difficult for Israel to authorize to them to export from Gaza vegetables into Israel? Because you need to make sure it's not detected with some diseases from Africa, because who knows who's controlling when it enters to Gaza. So some people look at it very simple. It's like you are not allowing them to import fertilizer because they use as bombs. And then, okay, let's say that they use organic fertilizers and they grow vegetables. How come you are not allowing them to export as much as they want? So they will build their economy. It's like, who will promise me and who will guarantee me as state of Israel that they will not send a disease through the crossings, through the vegetables, through whatever, I don't know. We need to check it. We need to make sure. We need to be sure that it's a stable system. There is a huge, you need to invest manpower, systems, mechanisms to make sure that it works. It will not happen in a day. So, the garbage is part of the planning. The sign of welcome to Gaza is always faced to the west. That's why they developed the beaches. That's why they invested the money in those neighborhoods. It means all my garbage goes back to my backyard. And their backyard is our front. And a border and a fence cannot stop the diseases from that garbage. And this is a challenge. Yes, Hamas is a challenge. The rockets is a challenge. The tunnels is a challenge. But I believe that civil systems, civil infrastructure, civil challenges are way more important than that. Or you need to take it in consideration. Because I don't know if you know, but 2.2 million people in Gaza are about to be left without a drop of water in the following months or 2 years. Let's go to the bus.